All right, well, we were playing football, and now it's the international break again, so I guess we don't really have a lot to talk about, right? No? No? Okay, yeah.
Nah.
Chelsea's still top of the table.
This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends who support different clubs. My name is James. I support Arsenal. And with me tonight is Brad. He supports Chelsea. And Sean, he supports Tottenham. So like
and
I said.
the Atlanta Braves.
Oh, and the Atlanta. Yes. Much congratulations for you.
Yes.
The Atlanta,
Thank you.
The Atlanta Braves saved baseball.
Yes, they did.
Very important. But yeah, so
Three of us don't agree on a lot of things, but I think the three of us all agree, fuck the Astros.
I'm pretty sure that's like 90% of America minus like parts of Houston. I doubt it's even I doubt it's even all of Houston. I bet it's parts of Houston. But yeah, so international break. This is the November international break's got some World Cup qualifiers for all of the major conferences. That's the word I'm looking for. Which means that we just
Continents?
No, they're conferences.
I know.
Which means we've got a roundup of Premier League match day 11. Got a couple interesting news stories to talk about in the Premier League as a result of that, and not a whole lot tonight. But I'm sure because it's us, we will keep it to right at our normal length. But if you are listening, we really do appreciate it if you could hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this with a friend, rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcast or whatever podcast site you have that would allow you to do that. We would really appreciate it. You wouldn't want to be inconvenienced in any way should you not do those things, right, Sean?
Yeah, you don't want to have your phone ring in the middle of when you're talking about an inconvenience. That would be really inconveniencing. What I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's the second time that's happened to you.
It's for those at home. We're recording at 10:33 at night.
This has been a calamitous evening. We've had lots of.
It's been interesting.
James is.
What I was gonna say is, you do not want to be inconvenienced by dropping off your vehicle at noon,
Okay.
and they tell you that it's just gonna. Oh, baby, it ain't gonna take that long, and then you pick up your vehicle at 6:00 at night, and you have to use scooters around the entire city.
Oof. That's real professional.
To get around.
I hope you didn't meet any clients today on a scooter.
No, I had today off.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, that would be very inconvenient, and the way you can avoid
that happened today.
The way you could avoid potentially being inconvenienced like by that is like this podcast, subscribe to this podcast or YouTube channel or whatever, and share it with
hit the bell.
Yeah, hit the bell. And what you should really do to double your karma or your goodwill or whatever, go to your wife's computer and follow it and subscribe to it on your wife's YouTube account. That's the real play. Get her phone, subscribe to us. This is Operation Trick Google. We're absolutely into tricking Google. That's our plan. But yeah,
and Apple. Google and Apple. We're going for it all, baby.
We're trying to trick everybody. All these billion-dollar companies, trillion-dollar companies. Red Card Radio is going to pull the wool over their face. But as always, things we got on offer for this evening. We're going to talk about some comments that we had from last week, and then we will be looking at the results for match week 11, and then some of the news stories that came out of that.
Well, before we start that.
Okay, before we start that.
I see a little bit of this fucking first one that we're about to talk about. Last week,
I don't know what you're talking about, Sean.
We didn't spend near enough time on Tottenham. And we spent about 20 minutes talking about Newcastle.
Okay.
For some reason. So I see this first comment.
Okay.
So we need to keep it less than 20 minutes.
I got you. So,
all right.
I was gonna summarize. I didn't. Jimmy, our good friend Jimmy, friend of the podcast, Jimmy. He had a comment, and it was mostly pertaining to Newcastle. I was going to summarize it as best I could, and yep. Because I think that we've kind of beaten this horse beyond deceased here. But so Jimmy's not super concerned if or when Newcastle becomes a super club because they have infinite money now. He thinks it's going to be with or without money, it would be very difficult to get to the top of the EPL. He agrees with you, Sean, that the EPL is very deep in terms of talent and teams that are very good. He doesn't see that necessarily in the other big leagues, Spain, Italy, Germany, things like that. What he thinks it's going to do is it's going to just bring more top talent to England. So instead of it just being like 6 clubs worth of top talent, it might be 7 or 8, 9 clubs of top talent in England. And that he thinks it's going to drive wages up in England, which could potentially be bad for the Arsenals, Tottenhams, Liverpools, Leicesters, the teams that don't traditionally have the oil money, state fund money, things like that. It could potentially be bad for those clubs. But he also doubts. He does not believe that we will see Newcastle in the top 4 over the next 5 years.
Well, then he's wrong.
No, Jimmy's absolutely.
Oh, he said
right
4 years. I was at 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years.
He said in the next 5 years it won't be.
Well, he said if in the next 4 years, I agree with him.
He agrees with Brad and I on this point.
He does.
Well, then you guys are all 3 wrong.
Well, I guess we'll see.
I guess put it on the sheet.
Well, Sean's got to find the sheet first.
We'll have the sheets of integrity next week.
Yes, that is the plan, because it seems like a good time to kind of revisit that and see how we're doing on the sheets. But until that time, I got some more comments. This first one's for Brad. So this is from Will. Will's back this week.
Oh, Will!
Will's back.
Been a long time. Welcome back, Mr. Will.
So Will, I'm going to read this for you for verbatim. I'm sure you've already read it, Brad, but Brad seems a little too nonchalant about Chelsea's Champions League positions. I think they'll make it through as well, and winning the group isn't too outlandish, but a scenario where they crash out isn't too crazy either. I don't expect Juve to go too hard for a win in London in matchday 5 considering their domestic league circumstances and the tough games around that fixture, but anything can happen in a big game between 2 teams of that caliber. Then Chelsea go to Russia in December with only a 1-0 result in the other leg. I've seen crazier things that happen in this sport. Brad, what say you?
Will just said, Brad, I agree with everything you said. I understand why you're nonchalant about Chelsea moving on. But Russia in winter, it'll already be wrapped up before then. We'll get our point against Juve at home. It'll be done. I'm not worried.
I don't think that's entirely what he said. I think he was saying that.
This is exactly what he said. Hold on. I think they'll make it through as well. And winning the group isn't outlandish.
Yeah. Okay.
But they could lose both games by a ton of points. Zenit have to have a goal differential of 5 goals.
I mean, they play Malmo.
And Chelsea.
He's just saying he's seen crazier things in the sport.
Sure.
Sean, the next comment's for you. This one's pretty good. I like this one a lot. Because this is a comment that I had with Will the other day. So he agrees with me.
Let's have it.
It's about Conte. Okay. So Will says, I agree with James completely about Conte and the fight he demands from his players. I know you guys are pretty high on Conte already, but the grinta he brings to the team is his biggest strength in his eyes. But just looking at Tottenham's recent activity, they signed Juve's sporting director. They just signed Juve's legend and former captain Antonio Conte. Don't look now, but another Juve legend is out of contract this summer and rated pretty highly by Conte and Paratici. Just ask Harry Redknapp. Do you know who he's referring to, Sean?
We better not.
A certain A1 Giorgio Chiellini is out of contract this summer, and honestly is better than all of the defenders currently employed by Tottenham Hotspurs.
We better not.
Bro, if they do, you have to buy the kit. You have to buy the kit.
If that happens, I'm sending Sean.
I will write here in ink, on video, on recording. If Chiellini, for Will, for James, for Brad, If Chiellini becomes a Tottenham Hotspur player, I will buy the kit.
It's not quite on ink yet, but it will be.
But no, I think this is a legitimate signing for Tottenham for a couple reasons.
Why? He's
Ben
like
Davies
37 years old.
Okay, but
Ben Davies is your third center back right now.
your center backs are
He
garbage.
shouldn't be.
Okay,
He is.
your center backs are garbage, and Chiellini could
They're
probably
not. Hold on. Back the whole train up. Hold on. I do not. Let me start this by I do not disagree that Chiellini is better than any center backs we have.
Okay.
What I'm arguing is that Rodon Sanchez is better than Davies. So we've got it probably should be Rodon, Dyer, Romero across the back three. That is what it should ideally be. Why Davies was there, I have no idea. He needs to be on the given what Conte wants to do, he needs to be sold. He is a traditional left back, and he's not going to fit into what Conte wants to do.
All I'm saying is that Dyer's garbage. Romero could probably
You don't got to convince me of that, brother.
Romero could probably stand to use a older, more like refined center back to give him kind of like help him learn. And Chiellini has that in spades. On top of that, I'll point to this for Arsenal specifically. Arsenal signed David Luiz from Chelsea, older, more experienced defender. And while he wasn't our best player, I think he certainly helped Arsenal in our process. He helped provide some amount of stability in center back until we were able to get the players that we wanted into those positions.
What is Arsenal, the 76ers? Trust the process.
I mean, yeah, that is the thing. That's the meme on the Arsenal subreddit is trust the process. But I honestly, it's a joke, it's a meme, but I could see it happening.
It'd be amazing.
If Chiellini wants to play another season, and he wants to play overseas, because he won't play for another Italian team unless he goes back to his like boyhood club, which I don't know what it is. Will can fill me in. But unless he wants to do that, if he wants to go overseas, why not go to a manager who loves him, a sporting director who knows him? I mean, there is some history there between Chiellini and Tottenham, which would be hard to get over. But who hasn't said a funny thing about Tottenham in their life, right?
I could see the video.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Tottenham.
The
that would like the intro video is there, like the Twitter clips.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure.
Oh yeah, it's perfect.
For sure. But yeah, so Sean, you're not on board with this? Not having it. Can't hear us, right?
For those at home, my headphones cut out for the last 45 seconds. So,
it's Tottenham is all I said.
Just what I'm gonna say is no. I'm not on board with whatever you guys say because it's probably trolling me in some way.
It wasn't. It really wasn't.
It actually wasn't.
No,
I said I could see.
And final parting words on that. Will I take Chiellini? Yes. You're absolutely. Do I want him? No.
But
will I take him? Absolutely. He's at the end of the day. He's what? How old is he?
37.
He's like 37. Yeah. He's a 37-year-old wily vet who is worth something in the locker room.
Yeah.
To teach young defenders. And we have Davis and Sanchez with all the talent in the world, but no fucking mentor. We've got Christian Romero with all the talent in the world and no fucking mentor. Like, if you can get those Dyer's a lost cause. Fuck that guy. If you get those two dudes on board with their talent and their size,
yeah,
we've got two of our three that we need in the back.
Okay. Well,
so I'll take him. Is what I'm saying.
I can see the intro video is what I was saying. Is what you missed. Just his clips of.
Oh my god.
We'll just keep retweeting.
I did say if Chiellini becomes a Spur, I will buy the kit.
All right.
Yes.
Well,
We're putting this movement. We're putting this into the world, so this happens.
And I'll wear it. I'll wear it backwards on pod, so those on YouTube can see that it actually is the Chiellini jersey.
All right, sounds good. I appreciate that. We're gonna move on real quick. We'll as we need to do now. We'll have to look at the league table.
This
we
table
can.
thing. But do we have to?
Let's do it.
I guess we could skip Sean. You want to skip
Look
it,
at
Sean?
that! Look at that nosedive.
We could skip it, Sean. Okay, I'll pull it up.
Yeah, let's skip it this week.
Oh, sorry, I already pulled it up. I just pulled it up. Sorry, man.
Oh.
So, So, what we got here? We've got first position, Chelsea, of course. Manchester City's in second. West Ham. West Ham is up to third. They beat Liverpool this week.
Yes,
Liverpool fell to fourth. Up to fifth position, Arsenal on 20 points.
Ooh.
Manchester United is in sixth. Then we've got Brighton and Hove, followed by, what is that? Wolves, Tottenham, Crystal Palace, Everton, Leicester, Southampton, Brentford, Leeds, Villa, Watford, and then in the final three positions, let me just double check, got Burnley, Newcastle, and Norwich City. Now, based on results this weekend, we did have some managerial swaps, as you could say. We were texting on Friday. We were texting on Friday during the
About Dean Smith, right?
during the Villa game. Yeah, because I was saying it was 1-0 at the time. The game ended 1-0 for Southampton over Villa, and I said, honestly, does Dean Smith survive this if Villa lose this game? And it turns out that no, he did not survive it, because Dean Smith was fired after losing his fifth straight match to Southampton.
I'll go ahead and throw my own self under the bus. I said, why should Dean Smith be fired with a roster that he has? And then when I looked, and you guys caught it in real time, because this is probably 10 minutes had transpired once I had a chance to look at the roster.
Yeah.
I looked at the Aston Villa roster. I was like, oh, no way this is a 5-loss-in-a-row 16th place team.
Yeah. Their squad's not terrible.
It is absolutely not.
There's been some injuries and some COVID and some things like that, but everybody has those. But there's been injuries to key players. Like Danny Ings, I think, has been out for 4 of these last 5 games.
He's missed.
I mean, I knew they were going to take some hit when Grealish left. I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
We all did. They were the fighting Grealishes last year.
Yeah.
But this type of dive, like potential to get relegated, I didn't see that, especially with the roster they have. That is tough.
Yeah.
And I started out disagreeing with you, James, and then I came around to agreeing with you.
Yes.
Dean Smith was probably getting fired if they lose this, and then of course that happened.
It seemed almost inevitable in the sense that we were coming up on an international break, the November international break. That tends to be when Premier League teams make a move if they need to. If they feel like it's not going right, this is the one where they make the move, because you get 2 weeks and then you can get your manager in place and then be ready to push in through the holiday fixtures, and try and just kind of salvage your season. It seems to me that Villa I don't think that they're going to be fighting for Europe this year. It doesn't seem like it. What it seems to me, what their new goal for this season is kind of building a core with the team that they have, because they've spent a lot of money.
Survive.
Now I don't think it's survive. I think it's finish around like 12th, 10th or 12th. I don't think they're in a relegation battle.
There's a good chance they lose the next 5 games, though.
The only way I disagree with you, James, is they have built a team.
No, they haven't.
To stay. Are you kidding me? Have you looked?
But what I'm talking about is building like a team cohesion.
I don't think 12th is what they were looking for. I think 8th, 7th, 6th is what they're looking for.
But what I'm saying is I think that's outside the realm of possibility at this point in the season.
For
this season.
Okay, so then I misunderstood.
Yeah.
I thought at the beginning of the season what their realistic expectations with the roster they built.
Yes.
they're thinking 6th, 7th, 8th.
They're thinking Europa League, deep run in the FA Cup, deep run in the Carabao Cup.
Yep.
Maybe push for a Champions League spot if things go our way and some of the big clubs beat each other up. Yeah, I agree with you. That was kind of what they were thinking about going into the season. I 100% agree.
And it's just not there.
But I think
it's just not there.
I think in reassessing their
where they're at,
their season, when they reassess their season, they have to hire a new manager, which sounds like rumor is that it's going to be Steven Gerrard, coming in from Celtic. So it sounds like Steven Gerrard comes in, and you give him this season to kind of build the team cohesion that he wants and that he needs, and then you go into next season with higher expectations. That's kind of what I expect.
But let's go through his if it is Steven Gerrard. Let's go through his first 5 games. You got Brighton.
That's a win.
Crystal Palace.
That's a loss.
City.
That's a loss.
Leicester.
That could be a win. That could maybe
Liverpool.
Okay, so you're definitely losing 3 of those games.
You have to beat Brighton.
Yes.
That's your closest to 3 points, and Brighton hasn't been playing poorly this year.
So James,
only
you're
lost
saying
2 games.
4 points at best out of the next 5.
Out of the next 15 available.
I'd be lucky if there's like
4 points
1 or
at
2.
best. It's Brighton and a tie is what you're saying out of the next 5.
I see 1 or 2. I don't think they beat Brighton.
Brighton's good.
Brighton's good this year.
I think they have the tools though, but Brighton are good, but I think that their trajectory recently has not been what it started out as. So they started off, and I think that the way they've been playing recently on form, I think it's less good than it has been.
I don't think we set out to spend a lot of time on Aston Villa, but I don't mind diving in because they've got the talent.
Yeah, they've got a squad.
That's why Dean Smith got fired. I mean, they've got Mings, they got Manedia, they got El Ghazi, they got Oleg Watkins, Target on the left back, Cash on the right. They got Martinez in net. They've got talent.
Yeah, agreed.
They have the talent.
Yeah, I just don't.
So why it's not performing on the field is probably a managerial error. Has to be.
Agreed.
Maybe, but you also have to realize, like last year, we suck. All right, get the ball to Grealish. There's not really they don't have that outlet.
Bailout.
And they haven't been, and they haven't. I don't think it's just been baked long enough, right? Like quarter of a game to add 3 or 4 new players and lose your best player.
So you're trying to defend Dean Smith here.
Yeah.
I don't think we need. Yeah, I'm with James. I don't think we need to defend Dean Smith. I think this is a poor effort.
I don't think you're allowed 5 losses in a row.
That's what I was gonna say. With 5 L's in a row, it's very hard. But I don't think Ings has played in any of them.
So look at it this way. All right. So through 6 games, they had 10 points. That's probably fairly respectable, right? But through 11 games, you still only have 10 points. So that's where you lose me. 5 straight losses. They like 4 of those losses looked really, really anemic. Like they lost 3 straight games, conceding 3 goals. The 4th game was 4 goals, and they lost 1-0 to Southampton. Like they were shipping goals left, right, and center.
I think that he probably did, because of the injuries and because the whole squad hasn't actually been playing together yet. I think he deserved through November, but I understand why the move was made now, getting through to the holiday season where games are coming left, right, and center all throughout December. If you're going to make a change, then this is the best time to do it.
Yeah, because the problem is there's not another break until January or something like that, February maybe.
Yeah.
I will point out 2 things before we move on.
Okay.
One, I'm always going to defend Aston Villa because
I mean they're London's biggest club.
First of all, they're in Birmingham, sir. I found that out real time on the pod about episode 11. Yeah. I will always defend Aston Villa because in the FIFA 07, that was my team.
Okay, so that's one.
Because they had a cool logo. That was my reasoning for picking him.
Wait, and then you ended up being a Spurs supporter? What is going on with you?
Yeah, because that's a cock sitting on a ball, boy. What do you got? You got some stupid ass cannon? I got a cock sitting on a ball.
Just say those words again.
Please.
You got some stupid ass cannon? What cannons don't even work anymore. I could just dodge it. I see a cannonball coming at me, I just sidestep it. What are you talking about? Cannons don't work nowadays.
Hey, Eber's just gonna kick 10 cannonballs at your head. You're gonna dodge all of them.
I'm gonna block one of them. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me that a cannon is more imposing in the year of the Lord 2021? Are you telling me that somebody is scared of a cannon in 2021?
Are you trying to tell me that someone's afraid of a chicken sitting on a ball?
It's the cock, first of all.
They're not.
Yo,
There's nothing scary about that.
It looks cooler.
It would be scarier if it was like a goose. At least geese.
You know what? If this was 1887, I would have thought your logo was really cool. 1887, I would have been like, man, that Arsenal logo is pretty cool. That's a weapon I've never seen before. Now in 2021, wow, that's a cannon. No one uses. I haven't seen that since fucking the 1800s.
So you're sticking with skinny chicken sitting on a ball. This is incredible.
Oh yeah,
you've had some.
That's a cock on a ball, baby.
You've had some.
Anyways,
low IQ
Aston
takes
Villa.
Recently.
Hey, guess what? In 2007,
Aston Villa's got a cool line. Was a cannon used?
They were really close to winning a trophy. Tottenham was. They won it in 2008. That was the last time. So they were intimidating. We're scared of the ball.
My point was Aston Villa's got a cool ass logo.
All right, that was point one that you wanted to make 5 minutes ago. What's point two?
I have no idea. Just move on.
Oh man! All right.
Sean Matthews thing.
You threw me off with criticizing the logo thing, and I forgot my second point, so forget it.
I don't intend to criticize Aston Villa's logo, only Tottenham's logo.
100%.
Because some stupid ass cannon's a whole lot better. At least Chelsea's got a cool lion.
Dang, he's on my side. All right, cock and ball's fine.
Got some dumbass cannon. When the last time anybody has used a cannon?
Pretty sure when Arsenal scored a goal, they probably shot off a cannon when they scored the goal against Tottenham.
Probably the last. I'm gonna get the joke out of the way before y'all do. Probably the last time Tottenham won a trophy was the last time a cannon was fired off.
Was cannons invented back then? Or are they still using bow and arrows?
I'm just gonna get that joke right out of the way before y'all get a chance to do it.
Okay, we're moving on. So
that's a lesson to the audience. If you just take the jokes away from those who intend to hurt you, then they don't have any jokes to say. So then we got to move on.
It still hurts.
So
can we move on to the manager that's not fired yet? Because we're all Ole in.
I screwed up because I meant to go. I meant to go through the laundry list of games. Let me do that real quick. So,
all right, yeah, go through the games.
So Southampton beat Villa 1-0. We just talked about that. United and City played in the Manchester Derby. City win 2-0 at Old Trafford. Brentford are hosting Norwich. Norwich win 2-1. Chelsea and Burnley play to a 1-1 draw. Palace beats Wolves 2-0. Brighton and Newcastle and James's pick of the week ends in a 1-1 draw. Arsenal and Watford. Arsenal get a 1-0 victory. Everton and Spurs play to a 0-0 draw. I think Spurs were lucky to escape in a 0-0 draw there, if I'm not mistaken. Leeds and Leicester play to a 1-1 draw, and then West Ham and Liverpool play a kind of a barn burner, I guess, a VAR fest in London, and West Ham win 3-2. So that was the slate of games. That's how everything shook out in match day 11. Yeah, so let's talk about that Manchester Derby.
Ole's at the wheel.
Not surprising.
I don't think there's much to talk about.
Yeah, there's nothing to talk about because it was not surprising at all that Manchester City beat an anemic Manchester United team.
I don't think there's anything to talk about.
I do have this one point. Why is David De Gea still playing in goal over Dean Henderson? That's my question. Coming into the season, I thought that Dean Henderson had kind of supplanted.
Great Euro.
Well, he had kind of made himself the Manchester United #1 last season, and then
Not a great Euro. That was Pickford. Sorry.
Then De Gea had a kind of a terrible Europa League final. Didn't even come close to saving a penalty in the shootout. And so
not a final, but it was like the quarterfinals or the semifinals. But yeah, I know what you're saying. That's Spain.
It was England versus Italy in the finals.
I'm talking about the
De Gea. You're talking about De Gea, right?
I'm talking about the Europa League final between Manchester United and Villarreal.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
sorry.
I'm talking about club.
You said Europe. You said Europe.
Europa. I said Europa.
You said Europa. I did not.
Well, when I heard Europe,
what time is it? We're 30 minutes into the podcast. At 30 minutes, I'm going to go back and look, and I said Europa, and you guys are just smoking crack. So
whatever.
So so this was my concern. One of my professors from college, he was, and you guys know him, Dr. Leach. He's a Manchester United supporter, and he was putting he's picking his team at the beginning of the season of Manchester United players, what the starting 11 would be. And I commented, I said, I think that Dean Henderson over De Gea, and I think you've got the correct picks everywhere. And we had a conversation about this on Facebook, and I think he ultimately agreed with me, or maybe he passively was like, okay, that I don't mind making that change. But I think that Dean Henderson is a better goalkeeper at this moment in time than David De Gea, and I really don't understand why Ole is still sticking with him. So what? But is he
getting that game check?
Okay,
big game check.
But Ole needs to win. Ole needs 3 points.
Okay.
He doesn't give a shit how much someone's getting paid. He needs to win.
I mean, unless your name's Ronaldo, you're like, there's nobody else in the squad that's not Ronaldo and De Gea are probably the two untouchables. And Harry Maguire, for whatever reason, are the three guys that are always going to be there.
But I don't understand why De Gea is always there. He's not good anymore.
He's a Klopp legend, bro.
I would go back to what I would go back to what's been said, and I believe Tim Zede said it as well before he left. Is that De Gea's saves are miraculous and they look great for highlights, but it's because he's out of position all the time. And I think that's coming back to bite him because he's not as athletic, he's not as quick. As he gets older, he's not going to be able to recover from being in the wrong position all the time like he used to.
Yeah, I don't buy it anymore. And if I was a Manchester United supporter, I'd be really upset that De Gea is still in goal.
I mean,
De Gea's not their biggest issue.
Agreed. I agree, but it's an easy swap. It's super easy swap.
Sure. But you still got Maguire in front of him.
Of course. And that there are some systemic issues to Manchester United.
And Wan-Bissaka running back to make up for his tackle he missed. Wan-Bissaka and De Gea got to be boys.
And Luke Shaw not actually being a good defender. I get it. There are issues to Manchester United. And I'm the first person to be excited about a dysfunctional Manchester United team. About a Paul Pogba who's out of contract in the summer and just here for the memes.
Are they going to lose? Are they going to lose $100 million player
on a free
twice for free?
Yes, they are.
They're idiots.
What incentive?
PSG is calling.
Word on the street is he might go back to Juve. But what incentive does Paul Pogba have to re-sign at Manchester
Nothing.
United? Exactly.
He doesn't even fit into the squad.
And this is what he can say. He can save face entirely by saying they didn't utilize me correctly. They didn't get my best.
No,
look at me.
They did not.
I was a Manchester United player, but I won the World Cup with France at the time. So clearly, I'm a good player. And they're just not utilizing me properly.
Wrong. Yes. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And then
they're not using him correctly.
And he goes to PSG, to Juve, to Real Madrid if they want him. I'm not saying he walks into any of those teams. He might walk into Juve's team. I don't know if he walks in at PSG. He might not. I'm not really sure.
What it says, what maybe this is a good time to discuss it. What is his best role?
He's center midfielder with somebody that's super defensive, like Conte in France, or when Matic was Matic before he got old.
I think he
played very well next to Matic, where he can just kind of do whatever he wants in the middle.
Room in the middle. So it's not center attacking, it's not center defensive, it's somewhere in between.
He's not quite an 8, and he's not quite a box to box because he really doesn't defend that well. That's why you need like a super defensive block next to him. I think you need a really strong 6.
He's a deep lying creative midfielder. He's not a 10, in my opinion.
He's not an 8 either.
He's a deep lying creative midfielder who will receive the ball from the first pass from the defense and find a 40-yard pass to unlock a defense. Yeah. That's kind of what I think of with Pogba. And he's a late runner where he'll get into dangerous positions, and he has a very good shot from outside of the box. He's got great range on his shot. He's fairly good in the air, in my opinion. And so he's kind of a deep line creative midfielder who's going to make late runs in offense. But yeah, I don't think he's going to offer too much on defense. But he's going to kind of try and control the game.
That's kind of why I asked the question, because he's not a center attacking mid.
He's a luxury player.
I know his role at United has been center defensive mid, but that's not Paul Pogba. He's not either, and that's the conundrum.
He's a big luxury player. Damn. Like you can either you build the team around him to center on his strengths, which clearly they're not because they're building the team around Ronaldo, or he's a luxury player when you have somebody that can cover the entire field like a Conte, like I said before, like where he can just kind of float and do his thing, make a couple passes, not have to work too hard, and it's there for him.
You know what's weird? You say United's building their team around Ronaldo. I'm not even sure that that's true, because I don't even know I'm not even sure United know what they're building their team around. There's no way you would build your team around 85-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo. Like that just doesn't make sense.
It does for the vibes.
I said this before.
We agreed on that. We agreed.
Run the tape. Sean said the only reason they would sign him is for the shirt sales and the merchandise, and that was and the press run.
Bro,
that is the only reason. Because they already have Mason Greenwood, they have Rashford, they have Martial, they have all these players that run off the left, just like Ronaldo. So what tactical on the field sense does it make to sign Ronaldo?
I get to go first. None. I get to go first, Brad. Okay. Sean, I was agreeing with you the entire time. When this was happening, I was agreeing with you. I was saying that I think that Ronaldo is a liability at this point in his career, and that he is not going to
that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
No.
So I'm taking it a step further than you, because I think that Cristiano Ronaldo actively hurts Manchester United. And I think no.
Secondly,
okay, let me hear your point out. Hold on. Let me hear your point out.
It's not. Yeah, so I think that tactically and from a footballing perspective, Cristiano Ronaldo is an albatross at this point for Manchester United. He was an albatross for Juve, and I think he'll be an albatross for Manchester United. I think he will provide less than he will take more from the team than he will provide for the team. Yes, he's going to score goals and things like that, but I think that they would be better served to invest in young talent. And on top of that, like so, Brad, to your point, you said you don't get why they're playing him, right? You said that.
I don't understand why they signed it, but
but to that point specifically, the reason, could you imagine if Manchester United went on the run of form that they were on after signing Cristiano Ronaldo and not playing him? The fans would be burning him at the stake. The fans would be taking over Old Trafford again. They'd be invading Old Trafford looking for Ole again, and he would get burned in the press. So Ole has no choice. He has to play Ronaldo. He has to play Ronaldo like
which I also said.
No. Okay, right. But what I said was, what I was saying was that if they only bought him for the shirt sales and for the vibes, then why are they playing him? Like they bought him to win them games.
They bought him because they were duped.
Did you not listen to the episode where I told you? And because he's there, You guys said he's going to be a spot player. He's going to play here and there. And I said no. If you have Ronaldo on your bench, he plays. You guys said he would play like 1 out of every 3 or 4 games because he's older. No,
I think
playing every game.
I think my point was that he would play in the Premier League and the Champions League. That's where I said he would say.
I didn't run the tape, so I don't know what you said. I'll accept it. But one of you guys said I'm pretty sure it was you, James. So I'm not going to run the tape, but
it's possible.
Yeah, one of you guys said, "Oh no, he won't start every game." No, he's starting every game. Oh, sorry, he's starting every damn game because he's Ronaldo. You said that.
Ole said that, and secondly, Greenwood comes on the right, not the left. Greenwood's the only one that kind of maybe benefits from this.
Did I throw Greenwood in there? They have like 5 left wingers.
Yeah, I don't know.
Manchester
Manchester
United
logically didn't make sense.
They mortgaged their future to not win a trophy.
No, they got duped.
They didn't mortgage their. See, that's the problem with United is they didn't mortgage their future because what?
Rashford's not getting minutes. Greenwood's not getting minutes. Sancho's not getting minutes.
I forgot that Sancho was even on that team. Holy shit.
Me too. Oh my god, I did too. Actually,
Martial's not getting minutes. Cavani has gotten more minutes than Sancho.
Okay, and this is the problem with Manchester United is that they
need to play like a 5-5.
There's just so many problems with this team. All right, we need to move on because I'm legit confused by Manchester United now.
We'll address it next week when we have more time.
What about this Burnley game, Brad? Chelsea hosting Burnley 1-1.
Yeah, what happened, Brad?
There? We were talking about Norwich firing their manager too.
I mean, we can talk about Norwich.
We can skip it.
We can mention it only because it's happening. It's happened, but Norwich did fire their manager, and it sounds like Frank Lampard is potentially lined up to be the replacement manager.
That's Jimmy's guy, isn't it? Isn't Fark one of Jimmy's Jimmy really likes Fark, if I remember right from Dortmund. Dortmund days.
He probably does, yeah.
Pretty sure he said that a couple of times. But to move on to the Burnley-Chelsea game. This is a good result for us.
Okay. Tell me why it's a good result. Oh, wait, no. Is this it, Brad?
It's written in the stars, baby.
Damn it.
Thank you for the setup there, James. And Sean's not even here to stop me from yelling into the microphone. All right, so 2014, 2015. Chelsea draws with Burnley. Who won the league?
Oh, I'm Chelsea Football Club.
Chelsea Football Club. Hey, 2016, 2017.
I'm so done.
Chelsea drew with Burnley.
I'm so done.
Guess who won the league?
Chelsea Football Club.
Yeah, they did. Hey, 21-22. Chelsea drew with Burnley. Guess who's winning the league? It's written in the stars, baby.
Arsenal Football Club.
It's written in the stars, baby. Chelsea Football Club. Just give us the trophy now. It's done. Bro, we had 25 shots that game. Any other day, that's if Lukaku's playing, even if Lukaku's not playing, any other day, that's a 6-0 win. Easy. They had one chance and they knocked it in. And I'm thinking to myself, probably about 5-10 minutes before that happened, I'm like, this is going to be a draw. I don't know how it's going to happen, but this is going to be a draw.
I mean, sometimes you just get that feeling, right? When you're watching a game, you said, this is how this game's going to end. And it just happens.
What I'll say, James, is he said written in the stars for the Champions League, and it happened.
Sean, do not.
Do I have any reason to believe it's not going to happen now?
And it happened. Best logo in London.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's not the best. Hold on, that's too far now. You don't have a cock sitting on the ball.
Oh my god. I hope that there's technical difficulties with this podcast and we can't release it.
It is a cockerel. That is the technical term for the bird.
All right, James, do you want to get into your pick of the week here?
Yeah, so the Arsenal Wolves game or the Arsenal Watford game.
No, that wasn't your pick of the week.
No, I thought it was Brighton Newcastle.
Brighton Newcastle.
Arsenal. I'm an Arsenal
fan.
So
how'd that go?
I'm talking about Arsenal right now.
Arsenal. Okay.
Yeah. So Newcastle, they just announced Eddie Howe as their manager.
Saudi Arabia, anybody? You want
Stupid.
Saudi Arabia.
Guys,
Okay. All right, buddy. We talked about this last week. I think that's a great signing for them. I'm doubling down on that. That's a great signing for the first 3 years. You don't want him for when you get great talent. You want him to build the talent you have up now.
You know what, Sean?
That's why you sign him now.
possible.
You know what, Sean? I agree with you. He is a great signing to get you out of the championship next year.
Oof.
Boom. Joel, I'm expecting
That's
some
not
heat.
going to happen. That's not
Joel-
going to happen.
Joel, I'm expecting some heat in the comments this week.
You guys have such little faith in Eddie Howe.
I have such little faith in the
I do.
Newcastle roster.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't.
You just think Bournemouth just came up with so much talent and they just happened to stay up and Eddie Howe was just in tow?
I mean, they had a pretty deep team though. Like Callum Wilson is still in the league. They bought some players. Yeah.
Like you just think Bournemouth.
Hey,
Bournemouth.
Where are Bournemouth right now? Not in the league.
Okay. I mean, he kept them up for a couple years, man.
Okay, but Graham.
What else you want from him?
Graham
let's do this.
Graham Potter kept Brighton up for a couple years. Should Graham Potter be the coach of Newcastle?
No,
Okay, why?
because he's got a stupid name. That's why.
But he kept him up for a while.
Fuck. Yeah.
I'm just saying that's not like that is not Newcastle.
Eddie Howe's a better name.
All right.
Hey,
Yes.
Hold on a second. Sean, can you name more than 3 players on Newcastle?
I can. Tim Krul.
Yeah.
Tim Krul.
Yeah.
Tim Krul. Tim Krul.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
Newcastle.
I know. John Joe Shelby. Isaac Hayden. Alan St. Maxim.
I wasn't asking you.
Joe Willock. There's 4 for you.
Right, I wasn't asking you. I want to see if he can get past 3.
I just gave him 4.
Yeah.
But he was like, okay, Alan St. Maxim, Joe Willock, and Callum Wilson are the 3 that we've all said multiple times. Is there another one you got there?
Tim Krul.
Tim Krul's the Norwich goalkeeper. That's the joke.
Yeah, because for those at home, we had a running joke where this was probably what, boys, about 2 months ago.
It's the beginning of the season.
Beginning of the seasons, I found out that Tim Krul was still playing goalkeeper,
and then he was back in the league, and we had to
I texted the group chat, was like, Tim Krul's still around, still net minding around here. What is going on in Newcastle? Is somebody hurt? Why is Tim Krul still in goal?
So
How did Tim Castle just move from Norwich to Newcastle? How did Tim Krul just move from Norwich to Newcastle?
I don't know. I don't know why he's there. I just saw a Tim Krul sighting, and I was surprised.
That Saudi money just sent him to Newcastle.
Because he played for Newcastle for many seasons, and then he went to Norwich. And so it was funny because we saw Norwich came up, and Tim Krul was playing in the Premier League again, and we were like, why, like, where has he been? We didn't know he was still playing. And then
he was there.
We had to do some Googling and went to Tim's Wikipedia page and saw all the information that we needed. But loyal listeners of Red Card Radio, I have something to admit to you, good friends, dear listeners.
You also didn't know Tim Krul was playing in the Premier League?
James picked the Brighton-Newcastle game, said that was the game to watch and that he would watch it. Loyal listeners.
Oh, no.
Don't do it. I did not watch that game.
Oh,
hey,
James.
You missed one of Jimmy's comments here, and I'm going to bring it up for you.
I didn't watch
James.
it. Brad, give us Jimmy's comment.
James' match of the week. It's funny how no one expected that it may be Brad with the most integrity on the podcast.
I have failed you, loyal listeners, and I apologize. I'm not sure I should promise, but I will endeavor in match week 12 to pick a match and watch that match. I endeavor. I gotta stop promising because that'll get me in trouble. But yes, loyal listeners, I ask for your forgiveness. I ask for another chance. Give me another chance in match week 12, loyal listeners. But yeah, that Arsenal-Watford game was pretty good, though. That was pretty good. I liked it.
I was all right.
You did what you're supposed to do. Took you long enough, though.
Well, the thing is, we crushed them up 50 right now.
Okay.
This is the 50-minute mark in case anyone's wondering. But
you didn't have to say verbal.
my bad. Everyone on YouTube was wondering why I was throwing up hand signals. Anyway,
playing signs.
So yeah, no, I mean, like, Arsenal, like, we crushed Watford that game. We deserved to win by more than one goal, but I'm glad that we did win win the game when it was close. Aubameyang had a pretty horrendous game. Missed a penalty, stole what looked like it was probably going to be a goal for Odegaard, and touched the ball, and then he was offside, so it took away our second goal. He had a poor game. But it's games like that you need to win, where, like, you know, you got to grind out a victory, and you grind out a victory.
How much do you think you could sell Aubameyang back to Bundesliga?
Not much.
25?
If that.
15?
I don't know if anyone's paying that much for Aubameyang.
Really?
I mean, he's just,
I think
unless
you get it. Honestly,
he's having a good season this year. He's scoring goals.
We're removing my Tottenham hat. You got to get Aubameyang out of there. Like, Lacazette's a whole. For me watching Arsenal games, Lacazette is a whole lot better for your team than Aubameyang.
Well, we've been playing much better with both of them on the pitch together.
Recently.
Really? Yeah.
I thought that was the plan.
All right, well, I haven't watched a lot of recent games.
But so I don't disagree with you per se. Lacazette's out of contract this summer, so he's in, and it doesn't sound like there's going to be any extension.
So you're losing him for free.
We're losing Lacazette anyway, which is annoying. But no one's really I doubt anyone's really paying a whole lot for Lacazette anyway. And then Aubameyang's got another 2 or 3 years on his contract. I think
the problem with that is
big money too.
He's got a contract and nobody's paying a lot. That means you have to pay a lot to keep him to be able to sell him.
Yeah, I mean, if Aubameyang had a good season, like if he scores 25 goals this season and Arsenal wins something, then you might see someone. There was rumors this summer about Barcelona coming in for him, but Barcelona don't have any money, so that was probably a BS rumor anyway. But if he scores 25 goals this season, I mean, you could see.
You'll take it.
You could see a club coming in for him, and would you cash in him? I don't know if Arteta would cash in on him, losing both Aubameyang and Lacazette in the same season. I don't know if you would really worry about the goals drying up if you lost both of those players, and that would be very dangerous. To do. You'd be super risky.
I see that.
But what about this Everton Spurs game? So Conte in his first Premier League match with Spurs.
So what I really have to say about it is it just really seemed even. Like, I feel like a draw was about as best result as it could possibly be, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
For Tottenham, I 100% agree. That's the best result.
You disagree, Brad?
No, he agrees.
You think Everton played better?
Yes, Everton had many more chances than Tottenham.
2 shots on goal more?
And like 3 that hit off the post.
Okay, all right.
Damian Gray should have scored that goal. Damian Gray had a perfect shot and missed it by about 2 feet. That should have been a goal to end this game. But anyways.
I just think a draw was as good as expected.
Okay.
I think that's fair. That's what the game should have been.
I mean,
that was my grand takeaway.
It's far too early to have any other opinions about Conte's tenure thus far. He's been the manager for like a week.
To dive in, to have Davies on the back line, probably not ideal. we talked about this in our pre-pod meeting. Having Davies on the back line is putrid. It's not ideal.
I would say
especially with
Dyer.
Reguilon. Yeah, you get Dyer in the middle. Like,
yeah.
Come on, Dyer in the. Like, I get why he's there, and I thought he would be
Dyer
there
being the centerpiece. Yeah,
like that's the heart of the defense.
Yeah, it's a rough
big ask. Yeah,
rough sailing.
So,
but I don't know, man. Davies being there and Rodon and Sanchez on the bench is frustrating.
Yeah.
That's frustrating because they should be there.
It's,
But
it seems to me that Conte is like trying to test some things out, trying to get a feel for what he has available to him.
yeah,
Rodon didn't even make the bench.
well, when I say the bench, I mean
With-
available. I mean
with-
available. Yeah.
But I'm wondering why he didn't make the bench.
Maybe he's injured. Maybe I didn't pick up something. He picked something knock in practice or something like that. I don't know. I hadn't looked into it, but Rodon is there, and he's a capable Welsh defender.
Yeah.
He was great in the Euros. He did fine, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. You know what? Everton's a good team. I'll take 1 point out of that.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Man.
It's away. And then this Liverpool West Ham result. I was really looking forward to being able to go into the international break even on points with the fourth place team, and then West Ham went and beat Liverpool. Like, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that at all. And I know that it sounds to me that the Liverpool supporters on Twitter, are already saying that their season's over, that they can't challenge for the title and blah blah blah. And I think that's a little hyperbolic at this point. They're not out of it in my opinion. But yeah, it seems like a bad result for Liverpool for sure. And a super good result for West Ham. They're on a run of 4 straight wins.
Hey, did you see that Cresswell VAR look at?
I didn't see any of the controversy around VAR about this. So paint the picture. For
Okay.
me.
So Cresswell's going in for the ball.
Okay.
He gets the ball with his foot, but his foot launches up
Okay.
into the Liverpool player. I forget who.
Okay.
His other leg comes from behind and kind of like scissor
Okay.
kicks.
Okay.
It was not a red. I feel like it could have been
I mean,
based on the rules of the game.
yeah.
But not because of the first leg, right? I get like
It's
it hit the
scissor.
ball and like deflected. It was the second leg that came behind. I was like, oh, that should probably have been a red. I'm glad it wasn't, because it would have destroyed the game. Like, the game would not have been fun then. But yeah, that was interesting that VAR decided to not overrule that. When I think the Everton Tottenham game wasn't a red, but was then deemed a red. And I think those tackles were very, very similar. I mean, boots were a little bit higher there was boots up in the air in the Tottenham one, but it wasn't a scissor kick.
So this is the thing about the Premier League, the match officials, the VAR officials, is that it seems that they're still wildly inconsistent, and until they are just universally bad or universally good, I think that's going to be the biggest issue, is that they are inconsistent, and that if we would all be happier if they were just universally bad or universally good, instead of this, half of one, and you just don't know what you're going to get week in, week out.
Yeah.
You'd rather just know what you're going to get, and unfortunately we don't know what we're going to get with Premier League officials these days.
I love the West Ham Liverpool result.
I mean,
Who would have thought Chelsea draws and still keeps a 3-point lead in the Prem? Let's go. There's no reason to be upset with that result. That's probably the best result I could hope for.
But I mean,
or draw.
You guys got Manchester City breathing down your back. I don't know if that's this is gonna be a good title race, I think.
It is.
And I can't wait until February and March, when all the big clubs are entangled in Champions League knockout competitions and Arsenal ain't got no Europe. I think if Arsenal can stay close through that point in the season, I don't see why we're not challenging. We're only 6 points off right now.
What's your goal difference?
It's hilarious.
But what is it? Just so we can hear it.
It's not negative.
Hey, look, right, but is it greater than less than, or equal to the number of trophies Tottenham have won since 2008?
Equal to.
Yes, it is. Which would be,
Zero.
Sean, how many trophies have you guys won since 2008?
Since?
0.
Well, I count the Audi Cup. Count the Audi Cup.
Oh, he's trying to count the Audi Cup.
Audi Cups count.
All right, that's all we got.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's all we got for you tonight. We tried to keep it short, under an hour. We failed miserably, but maybe next week you'll see. We don't know what we got cooked up for you guys next week, but we will figure something out. Definitely going to preview match week 12. We might look at kits. There's been some conversation. We want to rate the Premier League kits and see, but we'll see if we get to it. There are some news stories that we need to talk about. If you are still listening, first of all, we really appreciate it. Second of all, if you haven't hit that like button, that subscribe button, that bell notification, rated 5 stars, all that good stuff, we would really appreciate it if you do. We don't want you to be mildly inconvenienced by your phone ringing when you're going to talk about mild inconveniences, or perhaps your car not being ready when the mechanic says it. So if you could do all of those things, share it with your brother, share it with your mother, we would really appreciate it. As always, we love to hear from you. So leave us a comment on YouTube, hit us up on Twitter, tell Brad that he's stupid. He's at KSBradG. Tell Sean.
I have the most integrity on this podcast. Wow, that was hard to say.
Tell Sean that chickens are not scary at whiteheart_Sean. And
do
just
that one.
Reach out to me with Canon pictures at James Tiffany. Cannons
are dumb.
Cannons are awesome.
I can just do this.
We collectively
and move out of the way of a cannonball.
Bro.
That's what's going to happen when Ibra kicks the ball at you.
You're going to lose a leg.
I can't wait.
You're going to be like, oh, I'm going to matrix this cannonball, and then the cannonball is going to shoot your leg off, and you're going to be like, before you even realize that you've lost your leg, you'll be like, all right, I'm ready to move, and then you will have lost your leg. I've seen the Patriot, man. I know how this works. Okay. We collectively on Twitter are at redcard_radio, and we really appreciate it if you reach out to us. But until next week, until next time, I hope you all have a good week. Enjoy some international football, some World Cup qualifiers, and we'll see you next time. Good night.